Hello, I'm Daniel, and welcome to the Emunah Project. We here at the Emunah Project are continuing in our series of videos with respect to education and information, inspiration, guidance, and continuing in our series on Yom Kippur as of the date of this recording. Yom Kippur is only a few days away, and one of the things that Jews do, we should all do, whether you're from Orthodox, observant, a Baalei Tshuva, someone who's returning, a convert, and even for Bnei Noach, sometimes Bnei Noach will follow the Jewish calendar and do some of the things that are commanded of Jews. They're not obligated to do this, but some take on the obligations. And one of the things that's customary, it's considered also an obligation, is before you seek forgiveness from God, before you go to the Creator and ask for the forgiveness from Him for the things you've sinned against Him, you are to go to others, people in your life, friends, family, acquaintances, business associates, and ask their forgiveness for any wrongs that you may have done to them over the past year. And people will come to you for all the offenses that I've done against you, all the words I have said, all the things I have done. Please forgive me. Now, the obligation is to ask for forgiveness. The obligation is not to have to receive it. Once the person is asked, they cannot unreasonably withhold their forgiveness, and if they do, it's at their peril. There are some rare situations, very rare situations, where the Rambam says the person who's being asked for forgiveness doesn't have to give forgiveness. To ask forgiveness is too much. But those situations are very, very rare and do not apply to most people, to almost any people, actually. When we do this, we in effect come to the Creator with clean hands. He says, listen, I've gone to others. I've expressed my remorse. I've tried to make up for any damages that I have done, any harm I've caused them. I've repented. I've done that to them. I've fulfilled my obligation. I now, with clean hands, as it were, come to you, God, and ask your forgiveness for the sins I've done against you. I've taken care of the sins I've done against man. I now come to the sins of you. Please, as I have forgiven others, and as others have forgiven me, so too, God in the universe, please forgive me of my sins. This combined with prayer and fasting and charity, and turning your whole being toward the concept of remorse and seeking forgiveness, you will be forgiven. Why? Because God says He will, and we presume God is not pulling our leg or kidding us. If we do what we're obligated to do, He will abundantly pardon. I hope you have an easy fast and a meaningful Yom Kippur. We will be doing a few more videos along this line. Please watch, please learn. If they can inspire you, if they can help you and guide you going into the Yom Kippur season, that's great. Have an easy and meaningful fast. And until next time, on behalf of the Emunah Project, I'm Daniel, and thank you too much. Hello, I'm Daniel, and welcome to the Emunah Project. We here at the Emunah Project are continuing in our series of videos with respect to information and education, and we're continuing in our series on Yom Kippur. During Marav, during the evening service of Yom Kippur, we have a service within a service called Kol Nidrei, Kol, all, Nidrei, neder, nidrei plural, all vows. And it says all the vows, prohibitions, oaths, etc., we're going to nullify them. All promises made, we're going to get rid of them. This doesn't refer to all promises, but certain promises. They're nullified. This obviously doesn't nullify all contracts or that sort of thing, but this is very old. The Kol Nidrei service is very old. It is done in all Ashkenazi congregations and a good many Sephardic congregations as well. It started in the 9th century, like the 800s. We don't know who wrote the Kol Nidrei service, but it's very moving. And even though it's not part of Marav, it's just a part of the Marav service, the entire service is known collectively as Kol Nidrei. I once heard another explanation of why the Kol Nidrei service started in the Dark Ages. In the Dark Ages, Christianity was really spreading throughout Europe, and Islam was spreading across North Africa and the Middle East. And many Jews were forced, on pain of death, to convert. And while some chose death, others were not as brave. And they promised that they were going to, adhere to either Christianity or Islam. And some of these people who were leading ostensibly Christian lives on Yom Kippur would sneak into a synagogue to ask the Almighty for forgiveness for what they've done, for the sin. Because these are the three big sins that, given the choice between life and death, you choose death, idolatry, sexual immorality, and murder. Converting to another religion falls under the idolatry category. You're supposed to choose death, but these people, they're human beings. So it was instituted in the Dark Ages, according to this interpretation. One of the reasons why the Kol Nidrei service was instituted was that for these people who would sneak into the synagogue once a year, and they could have been killed by coming to the synagogue if they were caught. This allows these promises that they made to be nullified, and that it allows the congregation to pray along with them, and it allows them to pray with the congregation. When you're at a Kol Nidrei service, along with the other things that are going through your mind and through your heart, think what it must have been like for these poor people who were pretending to be something else, and once a year would sneak out of their house in the late afternoon and the evening, would come to the synagogue and sit there and beg God every year for forgiveness for what they have done. It's very moving. Each Kol Nidrei, among the other things, that's one thing that I always think about, those poor people. We hope these videos inspire you. We hope the Kol Nidrei service inspires you, to moves you to do repentance, to do tshuva, and to be the person from here on in that the Creator wants you to be. We're going to be doing more videos along this line. Please come back, please watch, please learn. And until next time, on behalf of the Emunah Project, I'm Daniel, and thank you too much.